Good morning. Today we're carrying on our series looking at different people in the Bible that Jesus met and how it changed their lives. Now today we are going to be thinking about a woman, which is very appropriate because today is Mothering Sunday, isn't it? So make sure you treat your mums or your carers to a nice cup of tea, or perhaps breakfast in bed, or a nice box of chocolates, or just look after her and make her feel really special. Now, today in our story, if you'd have listened on the link, you will have seen that Jesus met a Samaritan woman. Now, it's quite a lot to take away from the story. The first thing I want us to think about is the fact that Jewish people, and Jesus was a Jew, and people from Samaria, Samaritans, didn't talk to each other. So the fact that Jesus spoke to someone from Samaria was a big deal, a massive deal. And that's why his disciples couldn't understand. They said, why are you talking to that woman? That's another thing to think about, is in Jesus's day, women weren't thought of being very important, which of course we know they are. So Jesus broke two rules then, didn't he, actually? First of all, he spoke to someone he wasn't supposed to speak to. And then he ended up talking to a woman, which was something that people didn't do then. That's because Jesus loves and values everybody. Doesn't matter where they come from, or whether they're a man or a woman, or whatever they've done in their life. So I want us to remember that. We need to remember to be kind to everyone. So Jesus is kind, and he was kind to the lady from Samaria, wasn't he? And he also knew all about her. And how could he know all those things about her? How could he know that she'd had 5 husbands? That's because Jesus is God and he knows everything. Now, I want us to think about something that Jesus said to the lady from Samaria, and that was in John chapter 4, verse 14. Now, Jesus talked a lot about water, didn't he? Which was, that's because they were at a well, so it makes sense, doesn't it? So Jesus had a really special way of telling people things about themselves and about him using picture language, didn't he? And he was by the well talking to the woman about water. And he said in verse 14, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water that I give him will never thirst." Now that's a funny thing to say, isn't it? What do you think Jesus was talking about? Well, I want you to think about things that you need. What do you really need? Because we all have needs, don't we? Now you might say, I need my Xbox. I need Netflix, I need my TV. But do you really need those things? I'm not sure you do. They're helpful and they're fun, but you don't need them. But water, you need, don't you? We all need water, because if we don't have water, we die. So it's a really important need, isn't it? Now at the moment, you have your parents and carers meet all your needs, don't you? So we all have needs to feel loved, and we need to feel safe, and we need to feel accepted, don't we? Now those are needs that never go away, and we always want those in our lives. And when we're grown up, sometimes we look to fill those needs in a not a good way. So we might, a bit like this glass of water here. I've got a nice cup here, and I'm going to fill it up with some water. Now, I might have lots of needs, and I might try and fill them up with lots of stuff that I think I need, or lots of people that I think might make me feel loved and accepted and safe and everything. But it doesn't matter how much I try and use those things to have my needs met, they don't. I end up being thirsty again because they just drip away, don't they? Jesus is the only person that can meet all of our needs. Because people will always let us down. They don't mean to, they try, but sometimes we look to have our needs met in wrong places. So maybe the lady from Samaria thought that if she kept having lots of husbands, that would reach the need inside her to feel loved and truly accepted. But actually she needed Jesus. And when we decide to follow Jesus, he meets all our needs, and we're a bit like this glass of water that we feel filled up. Now, the lady from Samaria, we've been thinking about how Jesus changed the life of the people we met. We don't know what happened to her in the future. We don't know if she changed her life in any way. But what we do know is that she told everybody in the town about Jesus. She told them what he'd said to her and how he knew about her life. And because of that lady, lots of other people decided to follow Jesus for themselves, which is great, isn't it? So Jesus obviously had a massive impact on her life. So those are the things I want us to think about today. Now, as I said earlier, it's Mothering Sunday, and there's a little prayer activity attached to here. So whether you live with your mum or your foster mum or your grandparents or whoever you live with, mothers come in all shapes and sizes, don't they? So I want you to think about all the people in your life who help to love you and to look after you and nurture you. And there's a nice sheet here with a flower on. And on each petal, you can think of somebody. So it's got somebody who gives good hugs. You could write their name in there and thank God for them. Somebody who teaches me. You could write their name in there and pray for them. Somebody who feeds me. Somebody who encourages me. Someone who asks how I am. And someone who I can talk to when I'm worried. There you go. So sit down with your family and do that today. And have a great day. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.